Hello, my fellow watchers out there. I'm gonna try to be happy. I'm gonna try to be glee. I'm gonna try to act like this isn't a bigger deal than the virus C19. But it's way bigger. I'm not trying to make a mockery out of myself for you, but it's way bigger, you guys. Way bigger. And I really, really, really wish you would start hopping on a horse and somebody show me a sign that I'm not the only blabbermouth this way. And I haven't told you near what's going on. Not near. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to go to... This video hasn't been released. Let's see if I go around 55, I think. Okay. Maybe it's about a minute or something. Right around here, I think it will zoom in. Hi, Post Silly. Hello, Chris. And I do have my good followers and so on and so forth. But Post, I can say to you, because one thing about you is you're very loyal in the sense you sound like a real person. And a lot of things to me that catch my mind, make me understand you as being a real person. It's kind of neat. And here I'm just going to be doing this setting up, but it's kind of neat. Different times I'm wiggling the camera everywhere, right? I'm not like a real camera guy. I'm wiggling it, but in this case, it doesn't matter because you get the full screen here. Got a couple of messages, like I told you to check out my community page, just around the 55 seconds, and that's where I was coming up with the 55 seconds from. Anyways, in that other video from a day back or so, I just did a little clip and I put it up on there. Just wanted to see if you had a quick look on it, if you see the being that you were pointing out at the 55 second-ish mark. And like I said, that's right around that clip. Like on 54, I did a few pictures. 55, I did a few pictures. I just happened to pick one of the pictures and threw it up there on community. And what we have going on here is some new footage. And I struggle. I struggle with, let me say it like the broken heart syndrome, where you're so passionate and the other person doesn't want to hear it. Stuff like that. Because it really is so urgent. President Trump said just in one of his messages, and I'm Canadian, but I kind of connect with that man. Not in a dishonest way. Everybody who plays dishonesty plays also honesty. We're all trying to fool to be honest. And how do you do it is you do be honest a lot of times. So I'm not measuring the man, but I connect with his honesty and his wholesomeness, his family patriotism, his country patriotism, different things like this. And the other day, just 3 days back, he said on one of his talks there, I go onto the White House channel and listen just directly a little bit. No, I'm not whatever, I just do my searching around. But he had said that, and he was saying it before too, about getting military out of other countries and stuff. And he says, because our country, United States, is in dire needs here, let me go like that, yeah? Dire needs here for the infrastructure. He's talking about your highways, talking about your roads, he's talking about your potholes, he's talking about the bridge collapsing issues, the bridges that are close to collapsing. Go on the news and look at them around the world and stuff. There's this one bridge that just recently collapsed. And I haven't seen full information on it, but it's a long bridge. There's like 4 piers on it or something like that. And there's a very easy science to understand with this is engineers make mistakes. they're not perfect in all their stuff. The engineer who does the overall brains of the thing probably doesn't even come out and look at the finished product like in an inspection mine. He comes out, oh yeah, I'm the greatest, and so on and so forth. I'll read you guys up in a second here. So in the bridge system, it's very easy, or it's very known that they have expansion gaps, and there's certain reasons for earth movement, whatever kind of stuff. We can get into a lot of things. At the end of the day, they got a certain amount of gaps, and they're equaled out whichever way they go on to either side and stuff. It's the lineage of the bridge for those sections to be able to have some movement. But this one needs some movement, this one needs some movement. The one that's based on the ground needs a different volume of movement space on either end than the one that's sitting on a pier to another pier needs for movement, and so on and so forth. So on one of those things, because I've seen it before, where a truck has just come and it collapsed like that, and I've gone and inspected it myself under bridges and stuff, and can see how easily it would be for these super beasts, who I tell you are the pyramid, connected to the pyramid times, have that strength capacity. Okay, they're not all the size of my thumb, even though some are. We don't know what's all going on, guys. We're trying. This is research. This is figuring it out. This isn't trying to say, oh, you're just wrong on this and right on that and almost on this. It's kind of like I'm pulling a whole package together here. I don't have 5 or 6 or 7 items on my list. Anyways, so Trump talked about it. He talked about it that your country is so far behind. He goes, and actually he says this the day after I heard one report where I was whatever into something, and in the one in particular state, there 300 something like 350 bridges type structures that need major overhauls. And you think about it, where's all the money going and stuff like that right now? Okay, so this is a big deal. But what we got to do is we got to kind of believe and reach out and say, look at all the concrete issues going around in the world. Look at all the pothole issues, all the foundations, any of the foundations that are exposed that you can look at, part of the foundation on the side. Just watch it wear, watch it crack. And if you actually get to notice, hey, I notice a crack, then that is 1 in a billion that you're getting to fluke out. And if you have a number of spots that you're watching over, different buildings and such, and you can notice one with bad cracks already on it, just watch that then grow. And you're doing the research that I'm trying to encourage. And now understanding that is, these guys who used to make all these other rock sculptures out there, they're actually breaking them down now. Were they in that mode to break them down then? Was it a different tribe of build beasts and break down beasts? You know, what is really going on? We got to figure all that out. We're just doing research right now. But there's real thought there. It has to be real thought. You got to go to that cartoon level. Bring the cartoon into your mind and picture. When I say the pyramid's being built, and you can kind of see, I'm almost doing like a triangle to my mind. In your little circle, it might not look like it, but when I'm saying pyramid, I'm kind of going pyramid, and I'm taking down. I was doing it, you know. So get what I'm doing is I'm bringing in pictures. I can't, it's not like every time I think of them and stuff, I'm bringing in pictures. It's not that bright. The glowing light is much brighter or whatever, and it could incapacitate you in a moment. You're just going like this of the glow of the light. It could just incapacitate you, if that's the proper pronunciation, where you probably just your energy is into a fainting kind of a mode or whatever, to a blind level. Yeah, you know where my mind goes with these guys? This is going to trip you. My mind goes to, remember back those shows we used to watch? You know, like there was that one that really started back in the day there where it, that's incredible, maybe, or something like that. It'll be funny if that's it. You know, a couple of times they would show where the person had just burnt and disintegrated sitting in a certain spot. I'm sorry if you don't probably notice it. But sitting in a spot where they, just sitting in a spot, and they could find no remnants of the person except for maybe a little bit of their material left over from their clothes or something like that and stuff. And they really, there's a certain wording for it, and they really believe that people just burn in that spot. And that makes me think of these guys, because there's no answer with that. These guys carry a lot of answers. Are they going to be connected with what I just talked about? And you might even be going, yeah, I heard about that. I remember that too. It still goes on or whatever. I don't know. Could be just an all false thing that where the person just burns up like that. Anyway, so we're getting into this. First, we're going to, yeah. So if I go like this, I can go bang and then bang. And I get to see something. I don't get to move them. Hey, hey, hey. Okay, everybody's saying I'm sorry. Okay, everybody's just saying hi and stuff. Cool. Right on, Chris. Okay, so let's go with this now. We're going to go bang. And, oh no, I already set that up, didn't I? I'm going to turn it down. So basically what I do is I have it on super slow-mo. I'm going to back it up a bit, okay? 10 seconds will give us. Maybe a little bit more. There we go. So you guys can focus into the thing. I'm going to show you a couple of. Thank you very much. I just happened to be watching the video a moment ago, and it's not here. It happened to be a little bit more to this white, the gold grass here. It's a little bit, but just watch. You know, even like how this tree here, these bit of tree there, they are very good at understanding that they can easily look like part of the tree and stuff too. So what I'm always doing, like a little bit right here too and stuff, as I'm fading into lots of these spots, not necessarily when I'm standing there, I'm talking about my research on camera is what I'm helping you out with here, is lots of times I'll be watching those. So I just don't watch here and then I'm finished with the video. I'll watch in, and then I do that lots of times where I'm hitting my rewinds and stuff. So, and what I watch is I watch for microscopic changes in the shadowing, because what you get to do is you get to think right now to your common sense that this is in slow-mo. The amount of the sun doing all this shine, you see this sun's doing all this shine, it's obviously behind us. See, on the other side of this tree is where you could tell it would be black. On this side of that tree right here, it's all bright. So the sun's behind us to some degree. You might be able to even get an idea that it would be over my right shoulder. So those things are references for your mind. Just like these sticks in front are references. This stick is closer than this stick, than these branches that are obviously pointing that way. You know, then these things that are back there. This three or four prong like looking tree there is in front of this one, and this one's in front of that, and this is some of the branches probably from that tree, but there can be stuff going on, blah blah blah. Then you start to see other stuff. I'm using my red pointer. You start to see some other stuff or whatever, and you just, okay, those are some key spots when this, because I know this camera is going to come in. Oh yeah, another thing I wanted to point out is there's a few right here, and how I seen them, and maybe even some here, is because bring in the importance of this glow right here. That's size and everything. And you can see it on a different level here. Is it the same thing? Whoops. That's to figure out. But when you're looking and watching as this is all going in slow mode here and stuff, well, you'll notice as some of them light up and down and stuff. And you get to go. How the hell's doing that? Because the sun sure ain't moving very fast in this slow-mo thing. Did I even take a drink? I don't know if I did. So let's just continue on, and I'm going to try to keep my face out of your face, okay? Let's do a little volume. The times I do say a little something. So here, this is probably when I was referring to the grass right over there. Will change a little bit microscopically, like very small shadowings, size of softball kind of. I was just winding. But here we go into the eventually here in a moment. See, in cases like this is a great time to do your pausing. And then if there's anything that you see this tree right here, you can tell that tree is closer to you. You look at that red dot, and then so you look at that stuff, you see the peculiarness in it. It can be branches. It can be a branch coming off that tree and dropping down a couple of pieces and stuff. But what you do is you look for patterns. So you could think to yourself, is that one set of maybe forehead and eyes, and this is another guy there with something shiny by the front of their face. You do that. You come here and you see, okay, I see all those like sticks, or are those fingers by any chance? This is all the ways that these guys hide. In this darkness here is some of the favoriteest places for them to hide. Right now it's very, from my angle, I'm not seeing superly awesome. I'm trying to give us some little bit of guidance. I just want to point out something here. So you get to see a lot of white spackling in here. Right now we're going to have a certain amount of confusion, or not confusion, but added nature to it from all the small sprouts. So keep that in mind, because you can look for eye shine that small, and that's why I pointed that out. That's pretty close, actually, huh? I'm not seeing anything super jumpy bouncing out at me. I should be wearing glasses, but I'm not. But I still can see right at this spot right there is interesting for me, because this is really what they like to do. They get this close. They like to get right into there. See, because you start to think about the shadowing and stuff, and how is this staying black? If it's not deep in forest and we got so much greenness and stuff, how is this going to be dark? You can look for answers for that. Right in behind here, there might be something right in behind here. Those are all very up in here too, obviously, but I'm trying to get us to focus kind of. I'm going to just let it go now, because I think there was a couple of hot spots. I did watch it through once, and there was a hot spot I wanted to see. I think it's near the end, and we're only halfway right now, and like for every 1 second it takes about 4 seconds. So typical look of things are those like that, because they'll use their fingers. They remember the finger glasses they do. I think in one of the looks here, I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to point out some finger glasses that I thought were standing out to me. I was eating at the same time, I think, when I was doing it, so yeah, something happened. See that bird just now? See, I was right. So this one right here really impresses me. I started because all at first, let me pull the camera back, and all at first, it just seemed like a tree to me, like a real dark looking. See that darkness here? Ah, dark, right? And you look at the rest of the We pay attention to the blackness because that's part of there's another actually chasing, and that's why I remembered that bird flying through. Is because I remember seeing something around here, and I was trying to find him, and here he's having a pause, and he's sitting right there. Whether that's accurate or not, we can figure that out. Anyways, this is going to be very interesting, as in totem pole, almost like interesting. So also watch this, and you might want to keep your eye on him. So I'm just going to go up from him. So him was just above my head there. And what I was just doing was I was watching to see if I could recognize any kind of change in it or anything. And this was the one I seen. Right there, there's a little face right there. This maybe is the one. So see right under my red dot there? Looks like that's, might be a set of finger glasses in front of a black face. But it sure looks like it's one of the little guys. Like, and if you think about a little guy there, I'd say, judging by stick size and stuff, you might be a hardball. You know, the baseball. Anyway, so what we want to look at is right here. That's looking really special. All in here is really special. It's really like the amount of beings is incredible numbers, but this right here is pretty special looking. So. So what you could do is you could do that, and then you zoom in, and say you see a certain shape here, like that shape right under my ball there, right? Say you think it's sometimes, oh, it seems to be protruding out a little bit more than other things or whatever. What you do is you try to get a sequence of pictures. You take a still shot from, whatever you call it, from here, and then again, so you end up having them, you crop them all down to that size if you like. Look at right up above my head, that my circle right there. You see that? Almost looks like a set of fingers glasses, doesn't it? I'll go even in closer. Right there. And then right there could be a set of glowers, right? Eye glowers going on there. This all right here, I'm pretty happy with saying that that's just sprouts on these outer twigs. That, I don't know. Things have that look to us to some degrees. That's why they mimic certain features within their eyes of glowing and such. So you can do it as quick as like that. Take a look at, you know, what was that? We were kind of looking at that guy, I think, maybe. You know, and then you might see other things changing around here and stuff. And then you can go like that. Look again. That's the quickness in a change. So let's say we look at that gray dot right below my red dot. And let me do this silly thing of taking that drink. Sorry, let's do a water drink. This is from Quebec, Canada. Naya water. Naya. It's not bad. It's 50 cents a bottle at that dollar place. Just trying to look and see how they bottle it or whatever. Oh, recycled sewage water, not storm water, not to be mixed with storm water, just sewage water. Ah, cool. Bottoms up. I'm kidding, obviously. Don't need much. Alrighty. So let's, yeah, so we were going to see what that does or something, maybe? Oh, look at that. Did it get is there a turn happening in it? So we're watching that, right? Oops. Right there, right? Seeing. You guys got your eyes on whatever, and I'm going to just see if you ever actually look way off over here. Well, I'll come over there. You can be looking at this. This is maybe where I was thinking I was seeing some finger glasses. You see those back in there and there? Start to understand the amount of like finger glasses looks. See that one right under me looks really quite hot. Um, is not a real number, So if you see a lot in my thing, then there's a good chance it's them. Let's just say that. So I'm gonna go like this. Do it again. Do it again. I don't know if you see my guy, but he's still there. Now I'm going to look up into here. See, he might be part of in behind this branch. See this branch is pointing up? It's kind of flopped and stuff. And then, like I said, we have all this to look at. And this is that original, what I feel like is almost like something to be looking at. And so sometimes what you do is, like my face is the example, and it's right in the camera like that. As I'm moving and stuff, sometimes they'll make the issue of keeping themselves a certain thing, where when you're moving the camera, you think to yourself, no, why didn't I, as I'm moving the camera, why isn't he kind of swiping out? Or why isn't I getting that part of his face? Because I remember I was doing this, and if you see what I'm doing, I know what's going on. I want you guys to jump in. So a lot of this stuff, you might see arms. You might see a knee joint. They do piles. They do totem poles. I'm going to go way over here. Let's just finish this through. Okay, guys? Is that a little bug or something flying up and down there for a moment? I don't know how well you guys are, but I was seeing some dippage and movage and stuff. And this is on the really slow mode, so it actually, in some respects, is the helpful thing. Because like I said, just pause and play is probably almost the ultimate thing. Or if you have like on your computer where you can really so lots of things. When I'm scooping through here, what am I looking for? I'm looking for certain shines. I'm looking for finger glasses. I like open spaces like in there and stuff, because they like open spaces to the view of our head. So if they find themselves feeling pretty courageous and stuff, they'll go into those spaces, into here and stuff, and they'll watch good from in there. And then all of a sudden it's kind of like, yeah, I busted you. I shifted the camera this way and you didn't know I... Up in trees, yeah, there's some hotness to it. All in here, I'd be looking and pausing all in there. And like you can see that deepness of black right there. Boink! On the left side, midway, there was one blinking with his mouth. I think he said with his mouth open. Isn't that cool? Was that just in the last 10 seconds? Like, look at right here, too. What's that, eh? What's going on there? I'm going to do a 10-second rewind, and then I'm just going to let it play through. How's that sound? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they're all over this area. They're as far back as you could want to see. There are tons that are not forward. Tons that are not forward. There are tons behind me on the other side of the road and river. It's kind of a T setup of land. So the T side got them all over the place, and the two opposite side kind of things here. I'm in one of the little nooks. There's another little nook of land on the other side that is connected hugely. They're all over there. They're some stuff moving around in there. They will come into the area. They know, like, Say if you were doing this all the time, look at this, looks kind of good in there and stuff, eh? All over looks good, but sometimes I just go for my specifics. Like I know how these guys are constant. Oh, look at all that in there, eh? Looks like some good lookers in there. Something pushing to some of the surfaces there. They test the light a little bit. And only few. I don't necessarily believe it's a ranking choice to be a little bit of a rebel. I don't know what it takes to be a little bit of a rebel. You just watch down it. Like this is pretty close to just right in front of me. And you just like this has to be done to get those guys super close, like right there. Like their comfort zones is. This is the ending of a longer video, which I will be posting both of these through. But me doing it like this, you guys, I get a payment for this. Right. Oh, right on. Kind of look like some foggy eyes in there, eh? Because they can do that. It doesn't have to be sheeny. It can be green. It can be translucent. Lots of times it's almost like I see where they grow it together in a way where you almost think that it could be two, and then as you're moving and stuff, it becomes almost like a face mask. See up in there? Just above my head there? See that, eh? Whoops. Is that kind of looking nifty, this whole spot there? Like, what's all this right there? Looking pretty haughty, eh? And then back to that tree, look. It's almost like right there is the one in particular head-like shaped thing I was showing interest in a few times. It almost looks like that's the same one. Almost looks like he's got two eyes on too. You see that? It's right there on that one. I don't know. Lots of stuff going on. See those two glows right above my circle here? And then it's all attached to the blackness of that. Like, are those actually still part of the little twiggies that are out here, you know? Or is that something being blended to be like those little twiggies? That's all our thinking food. Where was that? Oh, right at the end. So I'm again, because I want to go past that spot again. I really like that spot. So it's coming on our left side, right? Yeah. This one just above me here. See, it's all back far. And as I went this way, it was like they were maybe shifting forward. Or it's just my optical illusion, what my eyes are picking up, and I'm not letting go of it, because that can happen, guys. And that's why I like to do, and I suggest doing the pictures, do a few sequence of pictures. There it is right there. There's the full version. But look at this, 96 views, 121. I'm going to show you guys something really cool here. Hopefully some people are sticking around and seeing this. Like, this is draining to people. Like, on the level especially I want us to wake up to. It is really quite draining. And here I come here and I say, guys, I got them in my thumbnails. Like, share these two videos to all the so-called bigwigs so they can just see the front page. And if they tell you, I don't know, like, don't even say off of the thumbnail. Don't say anything about the thumbnail. Just send them to them. So you could say the thumbnail looks interesting. Thought you might be interested in watching this. Let me know if I'm wasting my time. You send that to some bigwigs. See if the guy at all can clue in. But there's actually a being. That's his head right there. He's sitting there. Right? Right here. That's a guy's head right there. Sticking through different sets of sticks at different levels of different depths. So we got to use depth to look. And remember I was saying how they can bring the eyes almost like the shine. That's almost like what's happening there. Instead of having 2P glowing, there's the connecting eye there. And then right in here, there's some others. So they're always in little huddles, these guys. This thing here, to me, looks unrelated. This thing here doesn't seem related to a lot of what I get. But they are, maybe there's somebody that's got their hands flopped over his head to look like great big floppy ears, because that's what I believe I see. It's right there on the side. And whoops, if you kind of just go beside my, whoops, darn, I'm not doing a good job trying to move my circle. There we go. If you look beside my circle, right there is where I feel I see another floppy. The floppy coming down there, right? Here, let me go like this. Oh yeah, my red circle doesn't quite get to it. And then there's an eye, there's two eyes, and then the whiteness right there in the middle, right here. See that whiteness? If I was pushing my pen straight down there, that whiteness would be his nose ridge, and then ties back into the cheek, and then you end up cutting off and realizing, okay, there's the head. And now what you get to do is you get to tie in from this black line going down there, and then it does a little jog to this black line that's fairly close to straight, that ends up having fern right here. You see this fern and stuff? Fern. But you see that shade of darkness, and this looks like a bit of fern here. One left leg, another leg in here, his back resting, going back down that way. Just pointing out kind of how I see it. He ends up being in the video for, I don't know, maybe 4 seconds. On this camera that I was using that in particular time, there could end up being, you know, a couple of hundred frames of him on my video. So just for me telling you how confident I am on spilling it right out, that if these guys don't recognize, yeah, that's what I was saying. If they don't recognize anything from there, oh, there we go. Let me just pause it right there. It just happened to be perfectly right at this. There's what? Try to get it on a good. There we go. I think that because it doesn't come in super good. So with my red dot, I get to come under his eye right there. With like, get out of here! We're fighting over the Bigfoot. So see the sheen? Oh, that's what's going on. I had push play. Let me go back here. Sorry, guys. Shiny's right here on the right here. See those? Right below me there and stuff. Is what it is. And we get to figure out what it is. So that could be Big Mama and tons of the littles sitting there. And do they get is Big Mama coming up? Come on, Mama, where are you? Oh, I got it on the slow mode, don't I? Here we come. We're going to come into her now. Oh yeah, and also, I think there's a baby right here. Because I think what you're seeing is you're seeing some fern stuff here. Okay, I'll do it with my red dot. See that fern coming up? That's obvious fern, right? This right here is not, but it could be some kind of plant stuff. That black going down, you see how it does a little stuff? That's kind of like I figured the front rightness of this big black being. That right under my circle, right above me here, is where its chin is. Right there, I'm figuring, because it looks a lot like it. It has like the whiteness on its, has right there, I just went on to what I would say is a black eye. And then right there, it has the white crest on the nose. And there it's got its other black eye with a little crest going under, you know, like the color going under its eye, like it is going under this one's eye, like representing the way the mother looks. Watch. We're not quite there, but there's that thing I was talking about right here, the little one, and there's the big one right there. So you might be seeing like a snout nose a bit there. Let's just bring it in closer. There, the little one below disappeared, but I don't care because this is a pretty good view for you. Because now what I got to see is above me right here, right somewhere around here is where I'm seeing, like I would say, the bottom part of a snout chin. Just the chin right above us, right? So I'm covering the chin now. Now I'm on to the top part of the mouth, if you look at me, and it's going all the way up to the, I'm going to bring it up to the, I'm going to bring it to the, towards the snout, where I think you almost can see darkness of breathing features for snout. And like the snout gives almost a different complexion. Like for its nose, like it's a different skin, like on dogs and such. Like it's just different. I'm not saying it's the same as that. And then you got this kind of sheenish whatever going back, forehead going up, maybe a couple of eye divity kind of bulges there. Those are like eyebrow divots is what I meant, you know, boink and boink. And here's an eye, the eye shine of the eye, and then there's the rest of the eye. Is that shine off of the eyelid? Interesting, the top eyelid. And there's what I get to is a kind of little bit given the sheen there. And then at this in particular spot at time, it's hard to make out the eye there, but it is actually right there too. And you get to make it out clear at a different time. So here where you get an ear floppy, and it's kind of interesting because it's almost like you get that in a dog where you get that, you know, that little in the floppiness of it. But if you really look at this, right, could that, when you're coming up here, could this be the back of somebody's hand? That'd be a set of knuckles there. And fingers going to there. Right? Okay, you sit here. I'll put my hands like this. You look more like a dog. Even if he gets it in there, I just think you're a Doberman. Right? So now that I get to see it up this far, and I was pointing out this fern. You guys remember, that's the fern. And then I was pointing out, okay, this could be plant matter or something. Well, look at right here. It looks like we're getting to see through better, or a different shade again. Maybe more of a green shade. What are you thinking there? I'm almost getting a feeling like seeing between. You know what you can be seeing is, see this blackness here? That looks like, it almost like, see like a reversed elbow or whatever, right? You want to call it, so like a bicep would be here, an elbow bend, and then the forearm goes down. But another way that you could really think about it is maybe it's a really skinny guy and his head's around here or something. He's standing in front of him. There's different ways to do it, but 100%, I know that in this whole video, you know, you kind of get a good feeling. Whoops. Right there, I'm pointing out finger glasses. Those are very close-up finger glasses. You see those finger glasses? Unbelievable, the digitness you can see them in stuff, eh? And then the guy up on top there that's level with me up here, I think he's got like a finger right there, just one, like around where his lip is. Oh yeah, that's old stuff. Alrighty. So hopefully you guys were entertained. Don't forget to go onto the community page. I'm going to try to get some good pictures. And this is the one that came to play. It was Polly who had pointed something out. So this was the one that I kind of cropped for her, because she said, yeah, there's a guy standing back there around 55. So this is around the 55-second mark. And I was gathering that she means in this area somewhere. She might mean back in there. I haven't even tried a zoom at all on any of the pictures that I took out of there or anything. You know, there's a certain amount of fatiguing with the eyes and mind and stuff, right? This is a good one. If you haven't come onto my community page, come onto this one, because this one will kind of blow your mind. So this picture right now, that we're looking at is the same picture, but with two different color highlighters. Okay? So right here, like, look at this tree and realize trees will show funny things. You can't rely on saying, well, it looks like there's a face in the tree. There's no sense doing it. These guys are separate from being a face in the tree. Could one be hanging right there? Well, it'll take you a minute or two to decide if that's his tail or if this is his claws or this his arms or whatever. So you can do that kind of stuff, right? Like this right over here blows my mind. You see this thing right here? Like it just looks like a helmet from a movie or something. And you bring it down and there's that thing again. And so it looks like there's part of the helmet and eye, maybe an eye behind there, and there's a big mustache, a beard and a mouth right there. But I don't know, it might be leaves and stuff. I'm not really too much emphasizing on him. I'm looking at stuff like that. You know, there's stuff in here. There's a little bit going on right there, there. And with our colored variation, you get to pick up on differences. And then here I'm just showing very fine work that they do, detailing that they do. They get into their fine details as skinny as this, as fine as this fly model that cost, you know, there's money involved there. Let's just say there was money for that model. He wasn't very cooperative. He stuck around for a good amount of photos, so the photo shoot went all right, but you don't worry about it. I don't know what I just missed because it's loading so slow. There's their underground bunker understandings. Here's where I get, you know, if I throw up my thumb and say, yeah, they're about this size, guys. This is the reason why. See that band of eye again we talked about, but we talked about it in a bright lightness. Here it's in a dark lightness. Now if you go in closer here, more of a section. Or if you go into this one, you get to see if that band has more separation. Keeping in mind, you see that's how close it is to the head. Then we go, where the frick is that stick? Okay, so that stick is here and it comes past this way. It's coming towards us. So this in particular cropping has the stick right there. Kind of right there. You see it right there under me kind of, and you just don't just get to see the triangularness of it. Having said that, there's a good chance that triangular could have been in the picture, but all four of these pictures are separate pictures. And as far as my memory is serving me, they're not even clipped from a video. I took these pictures at the same time I did a video there. Was it amongst at the same time I was taking the video? Could have been, I'm not sure. I should really verify that. That's going to, because there's another key reason. Because you see this part right here? You know, imagine something really little laying on this evergreen branches. You see what they're like? Cedar or something. And he's got his back legs curled up and those are his feet, his ankles, his feet are pointing this way or something. Or right there you have the eyebrows of another being like this right there. And those are his two arms got sticking up above his head or something. I have a quick question. My partner and I are feeling so housebound. We could, I don't know why it beeped. We could write, yeah. Well, I'm buffering a bit, eh? Lift up the camera a bit there. Yeah, for sure. You know, let's just, we can talk about it on this video. And just let me know what you want to do. And come on out. Angela, was I correct that you live in Coquitlam? Or is that somebody else I was referring to? Because I know there was another lady recently. But for sure, like, still buffering, yeah. So, was it buffering a lot the whole time? I hope not. But anyways, so just okay, right on. So just let's start up a conversation on, I'm kind of talked out. Obviously, I keep lacking on drinking my water because I talk too much. And yeah, you can even see in the background here, there's probably something going back there that you could maybe even pick up. Well, and then there's this one where this really gives a good idea and understanding of totem pole. And what you can do here is you can kind of see, when I look at it, because this is also three different photos around the same time. So you get to see what I think is like one of the fingers holding onto this tree, and the other ones are maybe buckled up. So I think that might be his left hand. I also do think it has the opportunity to be a face. There you see it from a farther distance, so you get to see it with better drainage maybe and stuff. But I really do, on other, in particular pictures, I really felt that had a good opportunity of being this guy's hand holding onto the tree there. Do they need to hold onto a tree, What the heck am I talking about? And then here's this kind of stuff is where your mind has to go, like that spider we talked about. I see okay, what are my guys up to? Most other people might have gone right to a bug or something. Not where we live here in Canada, no bug is doing this. You can see his final trowel mark. Anybody who finishes concrete right away will connect with what I'm saying right there. Yeah, beautiful. Cool. And yeah, and there's distance from it. But get to go in to look at this. Do not be fooled and think this is raindrops. Do not be fooled. Because when you're looking in close like this, and you get to really see the characters of them and stuff, and then, and even the dryness or the wetness can give you information. Because to me, like to have that all troweled up like that, and then you get to see the finished pattern around there, to me, it's in a way where you... Yeah, so anyways, guys, I'm out of here. Goodbye. Thanks for all your support. Don't forget to share all that good stuff, and we'll see you next time. If you're just tuning in, don't forget to watch it, leave some comments and stuff, and yeah, we'll be back.